Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Nurhalizah. I am the moderator of this presentation. The name of the group members are Nurhalizah, Aprina Azahra, Amanda Natasya Tiara, Attorika Laura Dwi Putri, and Febrina Camelia. So, in this presentation, we will talk about futuristic agriculture. The first one is intro. In this video, discuss about future technologies in agriculture that can be used to solve the problems of food supply chain disruption in Canada. With this technology, Canada's people change what they eat because they change the way of processing food in the form of vegetables and meat from what is usually processed by hand, which is manual, but now it is processed using machine. The next slide will be explained by Febrina Camelia.
Okay, technology vertical farm. The space which discussed in the video is the large vertical farm in Canada. It used the large agricultural technology to grow, so the result is fresh produce inside all along here. Kesar Chapa is the head grower at Goodleaf Farm at this 45,000 square foot facility in Gold, Ontario. He grows lettuce, spinach, arugula, and a variety of microgreens in a place of the sun and plants receive nutrients through water rather than soil.
Okay, the next slide will explain by Amanda Natasya Tiara.
Okay, the effect of the vertical farm. Every aspect of technology, the vertical farm is controlled from the hull of the lake to the amount of carbon dioxide in the air. The results are stunning here that requires the less splash and 95% less water and no need for pesticides. The technology is relative new leafy greens and small fruit thrive in this type of system, but other produce still process actions, and while traditional farms are vulnerable to climate change. The vegetable is fresh, and then the vertical farm can help to produce more food to feed the world's people that still go hungry.
Okay, the next slide will explain by Aprina Azahra.
Okay, I will explain about the disadvantages of the vertical farm. The first, vertical farms are the mercy of energy prices. The light require a lot of electricity. How sustainable these farms are depends in the part on where that power comes from. And the second, requires a lot of machines, and to buy a machine costs a lot of money. And the third, can lead the potential job loss. As a new agriculture industry, vertical farming could replace a lot of traditional farming jobs, and food demands will be met by urban vertical farming, and the demand for traditional farmers could go down, and this can result in the loss of jobs, but it will also create new jobs within the city.
Okay, the next slide will explain by Attorika Laura Dwi Putri.
Okay, the problem. Example, there are vegetables that have a short shelf life, so that if they are sent, there will only be a little time left to process them and make the vegetables go to waste, because there are some that are rotten and cannot be used because of the short shelf life.
Okay, the next slide will explain by Amanda Natasya Tiara.
Okay, animal protein cellular agriculture. In this technology, the science grow animal produce without the animal at the forefront. This animal protein revolution is wild type. This sushi great salmon fillet was grown entirely in a lab. Will-Type co-founder Arya Elfin got the idea while visiting a ranch as he watched cattle graze where a lush rainforest one was he got to thinking. Arya decided to create a technology that could produce animal produce without the animal with the cellular agriculture. The example of this technology is salmon. Arya-sized salmon was an early front runner. Salmon is the most consumed fish in the US. It's also one of the most versatile fish that we consume in terms of all the different culinary traditional.
Okay, the next slide will explain by Attorika Laura Dwi Putri.
Lab-grown protein or culture meat is an emerging technology. The procedure. In this little container, you're holding what we have here is the cells. So they are growing all the time and you can see here. For example, the cell is dividing the living cells are set in a nutrient-rich liquid, where they grow until they run out of space. You see here all the surfaces full of cells. It means that we can move them. They need a new home. They need a bigger home scaling up. This process is the biggest hurdle, for the cells need to be grown in bioreactors like tanks. Like you'd see at a brewery, it's a complex and costly process. But Type and other cellular agriculture companies are forging ahead as they await regulatory approval. Like all new technology, Type salmon will come at a premium. At first, our mission is one of greater accessibility.
Okay, next slide will explain by me, Nurhalizah Aulia. The problems. The first problem is the meat industry is one of the largest contributors to greenhouse gas emission. It is one of the world's largest land users. This is on top of the fact that there are serious ethical concerns with animal proteins. We've really focused these last 50 years on making protein cheap, and we've done that at the expense of animal welfare. The magnitude of this dilemma has given rise to a new industry, cellular agriculture, where scientists grow animal products without the animals at the forefront. The problem number two is population decline in a very extraordinary way. Beside that, there are many types of wild salmon found in the sea that are contaminated by plastic. The last problem is the time spent to produce salmon is very long. If it is in farm, salmon takes about 3 years to go from egg to the harvest. Okay, the next slide will explain by Febrina Camelia.
The advantage of the cellular agriculture. First, reduce greenhouse gas emission because it does not require a lot of energy. The second, the standard or quality more consistently compared to farm-grown meat which can vary in quality. The salmon free of mercury, microplastic, and other contamination commonly found in seafood. Third, not take a long time to get a breed. It only takes 4 to 6 weeks to grow a fillet. And four, it adds job to the economy. Various lab and factory workers, research scientists, and other similar things get new jobs. Five, it could enable large number of people to access higher quality nutrition and achieve better health outcomes. There are still hundreds of millions of people that don't have access to food at all or don't have enough food. Cellular agriculture can help to produce more food to feed the world's people that still go hungry.
Okay, the next slide will explain by Aprina Azahra.
Okay, the disadvantages of the the disadvantages of the cellular agriculture. The first, it is true that The first, it is true that cultivate products save many animals from extinction. But the cellular agriculture technology will incur very large costs because it uses technology that uses machines. So, the second can lead to potential job loss. As a new agriculture industry, vertical farming could replace a lot of traditional farming jobs. And food demands will be met by urban vertical farming. And the demands for traditional farmers could go down. This can result in a loss of jobs, but it will also create new jobs within the city.
Okay, the last our presentation is the conclusion. The conclusion of this presentation is with this new technology, it will make food more plentiful and faster to produce because this machine-based technology will be an effective alternative to agricultural problems in Canada. However, this technology has its own advantages and disadvantages as described above. Okay, that's all for our presentation, and thank you for your attention. Thank you for Ma'am Tita and our English lecturer. We have that we will find something useful from this presentation. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.